All right, you guys, we just got done with Steven's episode. I'm really excited for you guys to listen to this one. We talk a lot about manifesting, kind of health and fitness, and of course, a lot about the beauty industry. Don't forget to use code Christmas for 20% off all online courses, coaching, in-person training, and merch. And our February and March class dates will be launching soon. So let's get into the pod. Back in town, on a radar. Baby, don't make me wait. Body like, been a long while, and I just wanna taste this. I put it down when I come around. Hi you guys, and welcome back to Talkin' Smack. I just got home from Florida this weekend and it was so nice to be in the sun. I literally came home to snow. I left snow and then I came home to snow. But you're actually from Florida,
I grew up there.
We'll get into in a little bit, but I have Steven on today. He just launched a brand new platform for beauty professionals, and it's something that I've actually logged into and started creating a whole new website. This is the easiest drag and drop website that I've ever seen, and all the templates you have are absolutely incredible. You also do a number of other things. You're the COO of Lash Anarchist, who I'm a huge fan of, so I'm excited to talk about that a little bit more too. But before we get into it, I think we need a little bit of a refill. We have a guest appearance from Lulu today. Thank you, Lulu. You are the sweetest.
Thank you so much.
And you smell good. What's your perfume?
Thank you. It's Good Fortune.
Victor and Rolf.
It's the Flower Bomb brand.
Is that Victor and Rolf?
Yep.
Love it.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, bye-bye. All right, but yeah,
that.
so I'm super excited to have you here. You flew all the way from Arizona, and I'm just really excited to get into this. So if you have anything else you want to say about yourself, feel free.
I'm super excited. I can't even tell you how excited I am to do this. I've been telling Mackenzie that, like, I feel like at every trade show and everything we go to, it's always just like, hi, how are you? And I'm like, I really just want to like hang out with you. Like, yeah. But we're always so busy and like everyone's talking and there's just so much going on. So I'm really excited.
I know. I'm so excited for us to have some one-on-one time.
Me too.
I have dinner reservations for us later. We're going to go to drinks. We're going to do all the things. But I think where I want to start is, okay, so you were really heavy in the beauty industry. And I was following you and I was like, wait, I'm obsessed with him. Like all your photos, all your photo shoots were so eye-catching and so well done. And I was like, I need to meet him. I was like, I want to hang out with him. Like he seems so cool. And then you left the industry for a little bit and then you came back working for Lash Anarchist. So walk us through that a little bit, what that looked like.
Like me starting with her, like how did I end up starting with her?
Or even like how did you get into the beauty industry in the beginning?
Okay, so I started as a hairdresser. I went to cosmetology school in 2019, so I'm super old. But I graduated in 2020 and I've been doing hair for 10 years. And I just got to the point where I was just tired of being a service provider. And I feel like the universe just aligned because Allie texted me like August of 2021 and was like, do you want to come work for me? I was like, yeah, when? Like, let me know when. I will literally quit right now. And so she had me come in January of this year. And so I basically told my clients in December, like, I've had you guys for 8 years, but I'm out. And it's been so exciting.
And were you in Utah at that point?
I was actually in Vegas. I lived in Vegas from like 2013 until this year.
Oh,
so I moved from Florida to Vegas in 2013 with my ex and started doing hair there like full time. Because in Florida, I was just kind of like an assistant doing hair. And then when I moved to Vegas, they hired me as a full stylist. And so probably from 2013 till 2022, I was like a stylist. Yeah.
That's so cool. And like, so when you started working for Allie, what did that look like?
So in the beginning, she brought me on to kind of help her with content and like start her YouTube channel. And like we started Conspiracy Betches, our podcast where we talk about conspiracies and naughty things and stuff like that. It's very raw. Like I barely edited it. It's just like we record it and I put it out. I mean, I'll go through and edit it because I'm kind of psycho, but she would love me to just upload it. But I'm like, nope, I got to cut out stuff. I can't have it like this, but it's pretty raw. So it's pretty fun. And so we started that. And then she decided in like February, literally this year, like I worked for a month and she's like, I want to move to Florida. And I'm like, okay, because I mean, I grew up there, so I was so down with that. And so when she left in July, that's when I became like COO basically, because like I'm doing all the shipping, I'm helping her with content. Like
Mhm.
I basically did LashCon with her and all of that kind of stuff. So I kind of, Allie still kind of deals with ordering like the tweezers and stuff because she's the one that's been talking to the manufacturers for years. So she
Mhm.
understands that part, but I'm sure she would love to hand that off to me as well. But it's not like a typical normal day, especially with Allie. She's very like cool and go with the flow. Like she doesn't want me to call her a boss. Like
Yeah.
she's like, please do not call me that. So she calls me her gaymager or her bromager. So I'm like
Yeah.
her Chris Kardashian
Yeah.
basically. So
I
she's
love
my
that.
Kim and I'm her Chris, and that's how it is. So when I move to Florida, it'll probably change a little bit. Like
Mhm.
Vike, her husband, will take over the shipping and the customer service and all of that kind of stuff that I've been doing. And I'll go back to kind of just like brainstorming with her and making content and just, classes and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm. So what was it like establishing yourself in Vegas and then making this big shift moving to Arizona? Was that scary or were you excited about it? How did you feel, and like especially kind of probably having a relationship with Allie before but not really like ever did you ever think like, "Oh, this could be a possibility that I could come work for her in this company?"
I never thought that that was a possibility. Like we've
Mhm.
always stayed in touch and been friends, but it came out of nowhere when she messaged me seriously, and it was
Mhm.
like perfect timing because I was really like at that point actually in August of 2021 I was like, okay, in January I'm quitting hair. I was going to quit hair anyway, and I was going to live
Mhm.
off of my crypto and just figure it out after that.
Mhm.
But it's nice that I got a salary now because
Yeah.
I'm like, I shouldn't be living off of crypto, especially now because it's like 90% down. So I would
Mhm.
not be okay if I had done that.
Yeah.
So it all worked out. But I was so excited. I literally was like, when? I
Yeah.
want to leave now.
Like I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Mhm.
I don't care how much I get paid. I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
just get me there.
That's so cool. I love that. I think that's so exciting too because like you said, the universe or God or whatever you believe in, I feel like places you
Hmm.
with people and with other things, and it's like they know, or like I believe obviously in intelligence and like I believe in God and like the universe or whatever you put your stock into. Like I feel like there's such a path for you,
Hmm.
and when you align with certain people, it's just like you're set up for so many more things to go right. And it's like sometimes I feel like people get in this rut or they don't think there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And all it takes is a text message. And all it takes is like something like that to course correct you or be like, oh my gosh, this is what I needed. Like, this is what I was looking for. And I feel like that's so exciting to be able to be like, oh, like, this was an opportunity I never thought would present itself. And
Yeah.
now you're in a completely different position. And so now you're moving back to Florida in January. Is that right?
Yes. Hmm.
Are you excited?
I'm so excited. My
Mhm.
whole family's there. So
Yeah,
I'm ready.
that's so cool. Okay,
Yeah.
so now I want to ask you about the platform that you've built.
Okay.
How did you come up with this idea? I know you and I have talked off camera and you've been building websites since like 13.
Yeah, like 11 actually. Like
11?
my first website was a fan page about Hillary Duff.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Hillary Duff and I have the same birthday.
I love that even more. It was meant to be.
I know. So, okay, so you started building websites when you were really, really young. And so this website is fully immersive for if you just want a website, if you're a coach, if you are a service provider, if you have product, if you have subscriptions, online courses, all the things. What started this idea for you to want to build something like this?
So when I started with Allie, she really started pimping me out to her friends, and I started building websites and courses for people. I'm working with like Imperfection is Beauty. I'm going to be building out Lash Baby's course.
Mm-hmm.
And so she started to just really get me with everyone. And like, I always ran into the same problem of like, first of all, I don't like telling people how much things are. I don't like being like, pay me for this.
Yeah.
I don't like any of that.
Yeah.
So it was hard for me every time that I would need another platform for them to use to do what they wanted. I'd be like,
Yeah.
hey, so you need to sign up for this subscription that's
Yeah.
like $1.99 a month. And they're like, what? And I got so tired of that. So I originally started building Pretty Class, and I had posted about that a while ago.
Mhm.
And I got bunch of people on my email list to like be let know about it. And I just, as I was building it out, it was ready to go. Like it was gonna be an online course platform for the beauty industry. But then I just was like, I need more. Like I
Yeah.
need this to be bigger. I need to be able to put everything in one place at least mostly everything. Like if you have to have one extra platform, whatever, like
Mhm.
there's always going to be something. But I just really wanted to like really integrate everything, so it wouldn't have to be this thing of like, oh, you need this, this, and this, especially for like someone that's like maybe right out of school that can't afford Kajabi for $2.99 a month. Like,
Mhm.
and then still have to get a website and still have to get Shopify and still have to get Zapier to connect it all together. So it was
Mhm.
like, I need to make something that's like affordable, because there's multiple plans, and like some of them are more expensive, but then there's
Mhm.
a $29 a month one, so it's
Mhm.
like, even if you just needed a website, like it's $29 a month. So I just really wanted something that was accessible for everyone, and
Mhm.
everything is there,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah. And I did a call with you. You showed me a demo of
Mm-hmm.
all the things and how to do it. And I was completely blown away. And I've had a little bit of time to go in and like plug and play mine, because now I'm moving everything, because I have 3 different websites and I think 2 other different subscription things that are all going to be eliminated just by using your platform, which is absolutely unreal. And it was actually funny. I was showing my boyfriend the back end of your site and what it looks like to drag and drop. And then I showed him my Shopify one, and he was like, oh, yeah, that one does not seem as user friendly. That one
Yeah.
has like, you have to, like, there's not as many templates, or it's like you're kind of just stuck. But with yours, you have so much freedom to create it to look exactly like you want to. So, my question to you, exactly like you said earlier, like, this is really good for someone even right out of school to be able to do this. Having that like booking section of it, like that's going to eliminate so many other services, like even Calendly for me, to where I book my coaching calls. I don't need that anymore using your thing. And it's like it's absolutely insane. I think what you've built is incredible, and I cannot wait to see it take off and watch it grow into something massive.
Well, thank you. I
Mhm.
appreciate that. And I will say about the booking. So the booking is similar to Calendly. So
Mhm.
it would be more for like coaching kind of things and
Okay.
like personal appointments for now.
Yeah.
But there is no reschedule feature. So I'm not pushing that for the beauty industry,
Yeah.
because like you have to have reschedule feature for
Yeah.
that. And so that's down the pipeline. But for
Mhm.
now, it's more because I'm kind of pushing it. I want it to be the whole beauty industry, but a lot of the people that I've been talking to, it's been like 99% of the people that I talk to about this, or they do book a demo call with me, is they want to leave services and go online. So that's kind of where I'm gearing it towards. And it's been nice to do the demo calls with like you and other people, because like I can kind of find what people actually want it for, because I created it originally just to be like everything, but now I'm finding it's like, okay, they don't want to do services, like they
Right.
want to be online. So I'm excited to see where that goes.
Yeah. So right now, better for like the online course creators, the coaches, people who have product
Mhm.
and are focusing on those kind of 3 things.
Yeah, and I mean, you could be a service provider and build out your website and your email, and if you wanted to sell products on there, so you could do all of that and easily integrate Square
Right.
into it. So it's not like I want it to be for everyone. So there's workarounds, like, because the appointment booking is free for most platforms. Like if you just want like the bare bones, so you can integrate it in there, but it's still more accessible for them, and it's all still in one place, even if it is just like a salon or something.
Right. Yeah, because I think that's what we'll do. Like what I'm doing is I'm like building my coaching page, and then I'll have like the salon page, and then I want to have a dedicated podcast page, and then like the products that we have. I think it's just so cool to be able to have it all under one roof,
Yes.
instead of all the different things and then
Like,
trying to connect them back and forth. And it's going to simplify my life like so much. But I just think I think it's absolutely incredible, and I can't wait to see like all the people who sign up and where you take it, and like it's so well done. Like I just cannot like give you enough high praises about it. Like it's
make me
so
blush.
cool. So tell us the website for those of you who like want to make sure you check it out.
So it's called Pretty Dashboard, and it's at pretty-co.
Pretty-co.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to switch gears a little bit. I know you've been on this like health fitness journey lately, and I know we were talking off camera. You started this in around July. So what did that look like? What got you in the headspace of being like, I need to make changes, like something needs to be different?
So the exact thing in July was like, I'm going to LashCon in November and I want to be super skinny and hot.
Yeah.
And so that's, as I was running and working out every day, I literally just, because I'm a master manifester. So I was visualizing what I was looking like, what I was feeling like, and everything. And so I had that in my mind the whole time until November. I feel like if I hadn't had that, I still might have stayed on it, but it wouldn't have been as disciplined because I really, really wanted to just like feel good and look good and kind of have, because I had kind of hidden my fashion for, the last 2-3 years because of just the world is in disarray and I didn't really go anywhere. And I was like, I really want to like do this fashion moment here at this LashCon. So
And
I was
you
like,
did.
I need to, I need to do this. And so I just really focused. I was actually looking at all the pictures from LashCon of me and I was like, I legit look like a skeleton. I lost way too much weight. I realized after LashCon, I looked back at my workouts. I had done like a 10-week workout program. It was for a marathon. And I was like, no wonder I was running so much. And I was like, I lost so much weight. So as soon as we got back from LashCon, I cut out, I don't run at all anymore. I literally am like just eating and like working out. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, I want to touch on the manifestation piece of thing and the visualizing because I'm like so big on visualizing and like it was from a book I read called Positive Imaging by Norman Vincent Peale. It's a super old book, pretty dry read, but it talked about visualizing exactly where you wanted to be and talking about how people beat cancer by visualizing and people beat all of these different things or people lost a ton of weight or did this. Like, tell us what that means to you or what you think like the visualizing does to back up those like positive thoughts of where you want to go, like those goals that you have.
I think that with manifesting, the first thing you have to do is say it out loud. You cannot just think it in your head. You have to say out loud, like, I want to lose 30 pounds or I am back up. You have to say you have to feel like you already are. So you have to be like, I lost 30 pounds.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is visualizing it and just having an image and how you would feel that when you have that. Like, how do you feel? Like, you need to actually feel like I've thought of things that I want and like actually cried because, and then that's when that magic happens. So when you say it out loud, you're putting it into the universe, the energy's grabbing on it. But then when you start visualizing it, it almost like builds that energy. And it may not, if you're like, I want a Mercedes, it's not going to just fall out of the sky. But something could happen to where you get in a car wreck, your car gets totaled, and then you're like, I need a new car. I'm going to go buy a Mercedes. Right. So it's a lot of people think manifestation is this magic, and it is magic with a K if you are into that, but it's not like fairy dust and like things are going to pop out of nowhere. You have to have motivation for it. So if you want to like create an online course or something, you can't just think about it. You can't just say it out loud. You have to visualize it. You have to feel it. And then you have to work toward it. Like you have to put in work toward it. And when you do that, the universe will give it back to you in whatever way that is. Maybe you start creating an online course, but then it turns into, you become the CEO of something. Like someone just sees all your work you're doing and the consistency you have, and they're like, wow, I want you. Forget your online courses. I'm going to pay you $120,000 a year. Come work for me. So it's things like that. Like, I don't know. I feel like in 2021, I just had like a spiritual awakening, and I had always manifested things my whole life without realizing it. And then when you actually like put the work towards it and you realize it, you're like, I've been doing this my whole life and haven't even thought about it. Do you like work with manifestation a lot? Or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm a big journaler. I know I've said those exact words on probably almost every single podcast, but like I'm really big on writing down my goals. And I can't remember, I can't remember if it was the book that I read or a manifestation course that I took that was talking exactly like you said, like you have to act as if it's already happened. Like if you want X amount of money in the bank, take a screenshot of your bank balance, edit it so it looks like that. Look at it every
Yes.
single day. Like I do those things. I have a thing that pops up on my phone at 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. and it has a couple different pictures and I've written down like I am successful. I am like all these different things that I need to tell myself to keep myself on the path of where I want to go. Because
Exactly.
I think our brains are so powerful. I don't know if you've listened to anything Joe Dispenza has to say.
No.
So
Mm-mm.
I'm a huge fan of his. Long story short, he was on a bike, a car hit him and he was going to have spinal surgery, all this stuff. He started visualizing and looking at pictures of his spine and pictures of healthy spines. And he went back, I don't know. I actually don't know how much the time was. I don't know if it was 6 weeks. I don't know if it was 4 months, but he went back to the doctor and they were like, your spine is completely aligned itself. Like, I think we are so much more powerful than
100%.
we think we are. And our minds, I'm a huge believer of like what is in here is going to happen out here. And if you're negative all day, all you're going to see is negative things.
100%.
If it's positive in here, you're going to look for the good. And another thing that I started doing with my journaling, kind of with manifestation, is instead of asking like questions or like, how am I going to do this? Like, why am I so successful? Why do I have X amount of money in the bank? Why do I do this? Or why am I joyful? Why am I this? And like, because the questions you ask your brain doesn't know what is present, what is future, what is past.
Yep.
So everything, if exactly why you want to be telling yourself like, oh, I lost 30 pounds. I've done this, I've done that, because your brain doesn't know the difference and your brain is going to tell your body what you're telling it.
Yep.
And so I've rambled on about this now, but like, yes, I'm a huge fan of manifestation. And like, I don't know if you've dived into human design at all.
A little bit.
But I'm a non-specific manifester. So I focus more on the feeling of like, how do I feel once I've lost 30 pounds? How do I feel when I had a $30,000 course launch? How do I feel with this? And like, same thing like you, like I've been like meditating, manifesting, just kind of in silence by myself. And I've gotten teary and I've gotten like that excited rush, that feeling. And like, it helps you, or at least it helps me be so much more motivated and be like, okay, if I don't feel motivated, I'm going to sit and I'm going to meditate. I'm going to think about these things and I'm going to make sure I'm disciplined to get to that point.
Exactly. I was actually telling Nola earlier that I was getting super nervous before I came today, but then I said out loud, like, this podcast went amazing today. You guys did great. Like, I didn't say like, I want it to go great. I said it went great. And I am not nervous at all anymore. And that's weird for me because I have like extreme stage fright. Like I was ready because I'm a extreme blusher too. Like I'm just a red person. I just get red all the time. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be red on this podcast the whole time. And I was even thinking, like, should I just say that in the beginning?
Like, get that
by
out
the
there.
way, I'm going to be red, okay?
Yeah.
But no. But no, I love that you like write it down because that's a really great way too. If you don't feel like saying it out loud, you can write it down too. And I don't know if you saw that I put that in my Instagram bio. I put billionaire beauty boy.
Okay, yes, I did see that.
Because that's what I want to manifest.
Yeah.
Like people are going to see it that know me and be like, he's not a billionaire. But then people that don't know me, they're going to be like, is he a billionaire? And then they're going to text someone, is he a billionaire? And it's so you're almost
they're
like
also putting
they're
energy
also
out for
putting
you.
it out for me. So it's like it's almost like exponentially more than me just thinking about it and saying it. So I decided to do that a couple months ago. I was like, I'm just gonna try this out. Like,
no, I love that. Well, and one thing I heard too, there was a study done saying that my dad actually told me this when I was like in high school. I was trying to study for a test and I couldn't do anything, and he was like, it's said that you're going to retain something so much better if you're writing it, reading it, and seeing it. So if you have goals that you want to reach and you want to manifest them and you want to put the effort and time and dedication into putting work into those goals, write them down.
yes.
And read it to yourself. I read my shit to myself in the mirror and I'll have it written out. So that way I'm visualizing it, I'm hearing it, and I'm speaking it. And you retain it so much better, and then you're able to actually like trick your brain into thinking it's already happening, basically.
Exactly. I feel like a lot of people are wanting it to happen right away, but it could happen 10 years from now. You could write that
Yeah.
I'm a millionaire, and then, 20 years from now, you're a millionaire. It still happened, but it's a lot of people kind of don't believe manifestation because they want instant gratification, which is a very another topic of our generation and everything, the instant gratification. But I feel like for example, Allie she showed me this notebook she had like 5 years ago, and she wrote down all these goals and all of them came true. And she hadn't looked at that notebook either. It works different for everybody. Like, you like to look at it every day and say it. I do too. I like to write things down. I like to say out loud, like, I'm so happy for my life.
Yeah.
Pretty Dash is going to have 1,000 members by February. That's what I say. But for her, she just wrote it down and never looked at that notebook again until now. And she's like, oh my gosh, all these things happened because she thought about them at that one moment. Maybe, so some people are just a little stronger with the manifesting too. So you could say it 10 years ago and it happens, and you don't even, you're like, oh my God, I did say that 10 years ago. But I feel like the more energy you put into it, the better it's going to be.
Totally. I agree. And I think it's wild too, because like, even though she wrote that down and then it didn't come back to it every day or often at all, it's like, it's in your subconscious.
It is. Yeah.
Your subconscious knows what you want and it knows what your fears are. And I think sometimes our subconscious keeps us back. And
It
like,
does.
we have to, or at least for me specifically, I've had to rewire so many of my subconscious thoughts to get me to where I am now.
Yep.
And not a lot of people have like that discipline to do that or the patience to do that, because it's not like, oh, I'm not going to be negative anymore. Like, I'm positive. Like, no, things are going to test you. The universe, God,
Yes.
you're going to be tested. And it's like, you have to continually choose to be like, no, I'm going to be a positive person. I'm going to look at these things differently, or I'm going to be calm, or I'm not going to be reactive to this other situation that doesn't concern me. Or like, I know a lot of people have road rage, like people cut you off or something. Like,
the worst.
I look at it now like, oh, well, I was supposed to be 5 seconds later to the place that I'm going to now because something could have happened.
Exactly.
Like, choosing to look at it differently, find a different perspective that benefits you, instead of being like, this motherfucker cut me off and now I'm going to have a horrible rest of my day. Like, looking at things so differently, like, doesn't change the outside world, but it changes your inside world. And I, for one, think it is so much more pleasant to be in my own head when I've made those changes.
Yeah. I mean, have you noticed if you like start out the morning like kind of angry when you get in the car, that you hit every red light, that people cut you off the whole time, and then you almost get more enraged, and then it just
like compounds,
cascades all day long. You know?
It's not fun.
It's not. But we are powerful. So the things that we think and the things that we say might happen. So you have to be careful with that. And you're right. Like, there's always going to be negative and positive things, but the way that you look at it is everything. If you get in a car accident this morning, instead of being like, oh my gosh, this is going to cost me so much money, be like, wow, I'm alive. And that other person that hit me or I hit them, they're alive too. Let's move on. The insurance is going to cover it. We're fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Like the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, the grand scheme of things, it's fine. Shit happens.
Totally. And it's like, you have to be adaptable. You have to be able to roll with it and look at it like, you know what? Okay, that sucked, but I'm okay. I'm safe.
Exactly.
We're going to move on from it.
There's bigger things.
Exactly. There's bigger things. And I feel like too, like, I've had that perspective from a young age. Excuse me. I've done that a couple times. I feel like I've had that perspective from a younger age because of like family members that I've lost, or looking at things like, okay, losing my great grandparents, and then losing my papa, and losing my cousin. And now like a couple like friends or friends of friends that I know, like, it's given me that perspective of like, if my family and my friends, my people who are important to me, are healthy and alive and well, and like we have a good relationship, then that's all that matters. Like 100%. That's the biggest thing to me. And anything else is not going to like disrupt my mood or adjust anything or change anything, because it's like, that is what's important. And unfortunately, I feel like not a lot of people go through that until later in life, and people still get hung up on being jealous of other people. People get hung up on being like, oh, well, they're further than me, or I should be doing this, or like I'm stuck in this rut. And it's hard to get out of that mindset of actually wanting to do what you want to do and focusing on like, okay, what brings me joy? What can I contribute to the world of value?
It's people need to stop comparing themselves because everyone's different. Like the person you see that's successful, they could be like severely depressed.
Thank you. Well, that was like me too. Like even thinking about like when I was like the busiest at work, when I was so crazy busy, I like had a husband. I looked like everything was perfect on paper. Inside and behind closed doors, I was crying every single day. My relationship was not good. I was having panic attacks 2-3 times a week, and I was completely burnt out. But I looked great on Instagram. I looked like everything was going well. And like, I think that's where social media has kind of like, you know, has a downfall to that. Like so many people look at other people's highlight reels and they have no idea what's going on behind closed doors. And some people share that. Yeah. I've shared that recently later after going through things, but like it's really hard to, and that's the thing. You're not comparing yourself to the actual person. You're comparing themselves to the best parts of their life.
Yeah, the success that they have. And it's like they don't see the struggles you've gone through. They don't, you know.
That's the thing. People are sharing their successes. They're not necessarily sharing the shitty parts. And some people do. And I feel like that's kind of where TikTok has gone. Like TikTok is super vulnerable. TikTok is super like shit's hitting the fan because it's relatable. And like people need that kind of vulnerable, relatable connection because at the end of the day, we're all probably a lot closer to one another than we think.
Totally.
100%.
I feel like I don't really use TikTok that much, but I have noticed the like authenticity moving over to Instagram. Instagram's changed a lot since I left it. I came back and I was like, oh wow, everyone's like different now. It's got this different vibe. People are being more personal, they're being more authentic, they're being more like natural, you know what I mean? And I'm really liking the direction that social media is going. I feel like we're losing that whole like influencer thing, and it's more just like you're an influencer of yourself, and like you get to show the real you, and people relate to that at the end of the day. And that's why like comedians are so successful, some of them, because they relate to the regular person. And that's what I feel like Instagram is moving toward, instead of this like you said, highlight reel. That's what I wanted to say.
No, totally, I agree. I feel like it's gotten so much better, and I feel like honestly that's where I started to grow the most, is when I started putting my face forward and like sharing like funny, relatable things. But then also when I would get on and talk about anxiety, or get on and talk about these like harder things that weren't as easy for me to share, that's when I got the most messages. That's when I got the most connection from people. And I think that's the biggest thing, is people are looking for connection.
Totally.
And that's what they want.
That is so true. I feel like whenever I share like my views on things, and they're very out there, a lot of people don't like what I have to say, but my views on things, I'll get the most messages being like, wow, I'm so glad you said that. Like I didn't know that's how you were. You know what I mean? I just love that.
Exactly. Because it's like I feel like people are afraid to have opinions on social media. They're afraid to have a voice. And it's really admirable when you see someone being able to be like, no, this is what I think. This is what I disagree with. This is what, like, these are my opinions. Yeah. And I think that's really cool. And I strive to be more like that. I feel like sometimes, like obviously in the lash world, I'm like, I have a lot of opinions on things, or like with how much adhesive I use, or, you know, certain things like that. But that's hard. Was that scary ever? Or were you just like, fuck it, like this is who I am?
I've always been really outspoken. It's gotten me in a lot of trouble throughout my life. I can't lie about that. I have opinions and I like to share them, and that's just how it is. So no, it doesn't really scare me. The only thing that worries me in this day and age is just like Allie. So I've kind of pushed back myself a little bit on that, because I don't want to like offend her followers because they know who I am now. And like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of like a part of Lash Anarchist now. So it's like, I kind of have to like tame that a little. But if I were to be alone, I would be blasting up
Yeah.
Instagram stories with my opinions. Trust me, especially during like the last few years.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait till dinner later.
I know, right?
all the tea.
Yes.
It's so fun.
Always.
Okay, so we're going to move on to a couple Instagram questions that we got. So Lash Anarchist wants to know, what's your type, Steven?
My type is 23-year-old frat boy.
No, it is not.
It is. That is my type.
23-year-old frat boy?
Mhm.
Lulu, you got any guy friends? 23-year-old frat boy.
Basically, fuck boys.
Okay. I could see that.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know what
so
it is.
funny. What is it about them? Just the
I don't know.
I'm
I
too
don't
cool.
like. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like too nice of guys.
yeah. They
I
have to be a
like-
little like
they have to be like
cocky.
douchey. Like
Yeah.
I like that. I don't care. You know, because I can be rude back.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna take it. I'll be like, okay, shut up. But yeah, that's my type.
That's so funny. Do you like blondes or dark hair or anything like that, or just more like anyone fits that model?
I would probably say like white country boy.
Oh, a little cowboy.
Yeah.
Oh my
like-
gosh, that's so funny. I love that. That's hilarious. All right, we got to get you some cute little white country boy douchebag frat.
Yes.
Frat boy. That's so funny. Okay, what's your favorite junk food meal? I know you've been on this super health kick and you have one cheat meal a week. What do
Yeah.
you go for? Do you go for like the same cheat meal each week? Or
Usually a burger and fries. That's like my favorite meal of all time. So
Yeah.
I'll always get a burger and fries. So I
Same.
guess my favorite junk food could be that or Cold Stone Creamery.
what's your favorite at Cold Stone?
The cream like base ice cream
Uh-huh.
with Oreos.
Yum. I
Yeah.
always get the coffee lovers
Mhm.
at Cold Stone, and it has like Heath bar and almonds, like toasted almonds or something, and then like caramel. I haven't had that in a long time, but that is so good.
So good. I'm not good with dairy though, but
Yeah.
I have to know like if you're gonna eat this today, you are not leaving the house. Like you're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
Like
in
you're in for the day.
near a bathroom.
Yeah.
That's so funny. What is your favorite TV show and why? By Lash Anarchist again.
Oh my gosh, that's such a hard one.
Mm-hmm. Do you have like a top 3?
Gossip Girl, original Gossip Girl, not new
Yeah.
Gossip
No,
Girl.
no.
Desperate Housewives, and that is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever watched Transparent on Hulu? That's literally like my alt. I've
No.
rewatched it so many times. It's crazy.
No, okay, I'll have to watch that.
Yeah, it's really
I
good.
haven't seen that
It's
one.
with the actor Jeffrey Tambor, and he like goes through a transition in it, and it's just about his
Oh,
family. It's a
okay.
very like indie, like chill, like it's
Mhm.
just so good. I can't even explain.
Ooh, okay, I'll have to watch
Yeah.
that one. I'll put that on my list.
What's your top 3?
Oh man, my top 3 favorite TV shows. One of my favorites of all time is Dexter.
Oh,
I
Dexter's so
loved
good. I've rewatched that a
Dexter.
million times.
That one. I was a huge fan of The Office. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
that would just be my like guilty pleasure, or like I'd throw that on when I was doing work, and it would just be in the background.
hmm
Oh man, what's another TV show? There's so many.
There's so many.
There's
It's hard.
so many. I feel like there were so many that my dad and I watched together when I was like in high school that like
Mhm.
we'd be like, he would like go an episode ahead and I was like, what the fuck, dad? Like you're supposed to wait for me. But we'd watch like Blacklist and like stuff like that, like more like action or murder, like stuff
Mhm.
like that. So I was really into that stuff. Okay, last question by the Carol Jamie. Is it Jamie, her last name?
Yeah.
So the Carol Jamie says, what is your favorite feature you've built when it comes to website design?
Like on Pretty Dash?
Yeah,
or...
on Pretty Dash. I think is what she's asking.
Oh my God, that's a hard one too.
There's so many.
I'm really obsessed with funnels. A lot of people don't know what funnels are because they originally started out as like these like salesy marketing funnels, but I really just like them as like mini websites with a one goal, like
Mhm.
one journey you're bringing your customer on. So I really am really obsessed with them right now because I want to build a bunch of different kinds that aren't like, I just built a refer a friend funnel. So I'm coming up with all these fun ideas. So I feel like that's my favorite feature I've ever built, like honestly, because there's so much you can do with it and have so much fun with it instead of just like a normal email list feature or something. I mean, I love email. That's like my jam. I love emailing. I email every single day. It's insane. But yeah, I would say probably funnels.
I think that's the coolest one. I think that's the one I'm most excited about too, to be able to create different funnels for different courses of mine to keep it, you know, just separate and easier, because the platform I'm on now, it's not as easy to email just a certain course or like do things like that. So I feel like you've set it up to make it really, really simple to just have certain conversations or have that like path for them to go through in just that course.
Exactly. And you can even put your own domain name on each funnel. And so you can really like get targeted with like search engine optimization and everything, to where instead of sending them to one main website with all your stuff and you have to somehow like SEO that to that one thing, this, you can do that with the funnel because it's essentially its own website, but it's still under there. And so you can use your own domain name on it. You can put the SEO for it. So that's definitely my fave.
I think that's
I'm
so
excited.
Cool. I'm excited for you. I think it's going to take off and just be so incredible for so many service providers and online course creators and coaches and people who have a product line and so on and so forth. So I am really excited to see where it goes. Okay, you guys, that concludes this episode with Steven. I want to thank you again so much for coming out from Arizona,
Thanks for
coming to hang
having me.
out in the gloomy, rainy weather. And don't forget to use code Christmas for 20% off all online courses, coaching, in-person trainings, and merch. And training dates for February and March will be going up soon. So make sure to check that out. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications to catch our episodes every Thursday at 10 a.m. And we'll see you guys in the next one.